Welcome everyone here. I'm Scott Galletti. Glad to have you along as we get set for today's game. And should be a lot of fun here today. As you look at the setting here, you don't see the Ferris wheel behind, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Joined by Matt Goldstein. And Matt, I'll tell you what, a couple of really balanced teams.
Yeah, you take a look right here for Mason Johnson Cook, the star running back, the #2 athlete in the class of 2027, transferred from DeSoto, Texas, has 33 FBF offers as of today, 5-star athlete. He is one to watch for the Flyers.
Yeah, 911 yards last year, a lot of touchdowns. And you look at the other side, a good one here for Bergen Catholic, Najee Calhoun.
Yeah, Calhoun, as you can see, just under 1,300 yards rushing, 13 touchdowns. He's more of your power back up the middle. He's one to watch. A 3-star, has not committed, but he is going to be playing FBS football next season as well.
So it should be a lot of fun as you see the teams on the field. It will be Bergen Catholic kicking off. East St. Louis in the white will be receiving. Both teams bring a lot of physicality, and they both bring a lot of talent. And that's the thing that's really going to be exciting about these games here, Matt, is that we're going to see 4 very, very good teams, and it starts with a 17-25 matchup. Number 17 in Max Preps nationally, Bergen Catholic. Number 25, East St. Louis. You can invert that if you want, because both these teams are very evenly matched. As ball is into the end zone, it'll be 1st and 10 for East St. Louis. So East St. Louis, Reese Shanklin, the quarterback. You mentioned Mason Johnson Cook. 900 yards, 14 TDs for DeSoto. DeSoto, a team that we'll see here on Flow Football, Flow Sports on Saturday. And I know they wish that they still had him, don't they?
Yeah, you hate to see a running back like that leave, especially as highly rated as Johnson Cook is. But, DeSoto is one of those schools. They're a powerhouse. They'll just reload and bring someone else in, I'm sure, to fill his shoes.
So here we go on 1st and 10. Little flip pass goes to the outside, and that's going to be a completion. Going to gain about 3 yards on the play, as that is to LaRon Baker, 5'11", 166 junior. Offers to Michigan and Oklahoma.
And for Reese Shanklin, the quarterback for East St. Louis, he played sparingly last year. He was the backup, just under 50% completion, just 21 of 44, 404 yards passing.
Pass at the right hash marks, a completion to Ronnie Goldmiller. Goldmiller, outstanding speed, 5'10", 178 junior. Guy who can really go, which kind of goes along with his name, Go Miller, because he does go.
Yeah, and East St. Louis a little slower right now. They usually run a little bit more up-tempo. They're a high-powered offense coming off of a state championship last year. Actually, both teams, Bergen Catholic as well, won the state championship in the state of New Jersey.
Yeah, Bergen Catholic's won 4 straight for that matter, as this is going to be the first run of the game. Now, the times that I've seen East St. Louis, they're very physical with the running, as that's Cortez Rupert on the run. And they normally run first and pass second. This time it's inverted. They've gone to the pass a little bit, and now they're running.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. A little bit surprised going to the air game, especially with the new quarterback and with the talent level of Johnson Cook running the football. But I'm sure we'll see a heavy dose of Johnson Cook as this game moves on.
Right. Look out for number 6. Here's a little pass. That's in the left flat, just by the numbers. Incomplete. Good defense there, as the ball was knocked down nicely by Xavier Jackson. Also there on the play was Mason Mark, 6'2", 225 senior. Both those guys cornerstones in this defense.
And trying to squeeze the ball in that time once again to Go Miller on the top of the screen, and just couldn't hang on to it.
3rd down and 7. Another pass. There's pressure and a sack, as that will be at the 25-yard line. A dual sack is in on the play, was Mason Mark, but he wasn't the first guy, but he was the guy who finished it.
Yeah, Marks comes straight in, and the pocket closed very quickly for Shanklin, the quarterback, as you see him dropping back, looking for his first read, and a nice job holding the edge was Jackson Vaughn, the sophomore defensive lineman, and pulling him down.
Yeah, Jackson Vaughn was the guy at the bottom of the pack. He was the initial hit, and then he stood up the running back, or the quarterback, I should say, from Mark, and this is a punt, and it'll be the first time that we see Bergen Catholic with the ball, number 17 in the country in preseason. 1st and 10 at the 46, they will have it. Bergen Catholic, they've been looking forward to this game, as East St. Louis, a couple of state titles under their belt recently, and Bergen Catholic 4 straight New Jersey titles. In fact, their head coach told me the other day, if it weren't for COVID, it would have been 5 straight. Straight run. That goes to about the 48, and that is Najee Calhoun, 5'11", 195 senior. Calhoun with a lot of speed. Good physical back as well. Calhoun last year was the workhorse, 220 carries, 1,293 yards, 13 touchdowns, 7 games of over 100. And that is a nice play as Dante Klein gets the ball on the left side. Good job of mixing it up by Bergen Catholic.
Yeah, Dante Kane, he's kind of the two-headed monster with Calhoun. Kane last year as well, 580 yards, averaged just under 7 yards per carry was Kane.
Yeah, I said Klein. I had it miswritten down. It's Kane, as he is Vito Campanelli's favorite, if you will, of the running backs, even though he didn't have the most yardage last year. He's one of those guys that can do it all, and I think a lot of it has to do with what they both do just overall on this team leadership-wise. Yeah, 1st down for Bergen Catholic.
Kane last year as well, doing a nice job in the receiving game, had 16 catches, averaged 10 yards per catch. So, you're going to see Kane line up at all different spots on the field. They'll line him up in the slot, bring him around like you saw on that one run, but they're not afraid to throw to him in the backfield as well.
They run the quarterback under center and a straight handoff as the ball was carried right there by Najee Calhoun. So Najee Calhoun, number 6, Dante Kane, number 1. Those are your backs. Quarterback is Trey Tagliaferri, just a sophomore, like you mentioned. And I'll tell you, Matt, he may be a sophomore, but Coach Campanelli is very, very high on the tools that he possesses.
Yeah, I mean, good size body, 6'1", 190 pounds. Played a couple snaps last year, not much, but, they're definitely looking for him to make the big jump this season.
Kane will get inside the 35 to about the 33 as he was finally brought down by Leon Howard Jr. Go Miller was also on the stop. So Ronnie Go Miller going both ways. And there's a handoff getting to the outside nicely is Dante Kane. He shows off his speed. Bullet-like speed for Dante Kane as he just followed a couple of blockers. And once he got to the outside, he almost broke it.
Yeah, great job of pulling. McMahon was on the right side of the line pulling. He's the one that really sealed off the edge to allow Kane to get to the outside, turn the corner, and pick up the 1st down.
So here we go with a 1st and 10, 6:21 to play in the first quarter. This time it's Calhoun getting to the outside on the other side. He'll get inside the 20 to about the 19. So he'll churn about 6 yards on the play. They're just going right, left, and sideways with the running backs. And oh, by the way, their big offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say that their offensive line is huge. And something that really stood out there on the toss, you had some great blocking downfield by a couple of the wide receivers. And we know sometimes receivers, they just want the ball. They don't want to put their nose in there and block, but great blocking downfield as well.
First and 10 again. Here's a pass to the right side, and that's on the sideline. Austin Busso making the catch, 6'1", 185 junior. So he ran a nice out route to the outside and made the catch and made it look easy.
Yeah, did a nice job getting separation from the defensive back, and a great throw by Tagliaferri, hitting him right in stride.
They go inside the 5 to about the 2. Also last year, 13 receptions, 159 yards. Didn't have a touchdown. Second down and goal at the 2. Two backs, and there's the Wildcat as that is taken on the direct snap by Dante Kane, and he has stood up. East St. Louis defense looked like they were ready for that one. As good bit of defense and a good stop by Randy Johnson, number 15, 5'8", 147 junior.
At that time, Bergen Catholic bringing in 2 tight ends to get some extra blocking. They go Wildcat with both Kane and Calhoun in the backfield. Kane keeps it, and Gibby St. Louis, they've been kind of getting pushed around on this opening drive running the football, but that time they stood their ground, stopped them, and brings up 3rd down.
Yes, 3rd down now, and timeout is going to be called. 4:34 to go in the first quarter. Number 17, Bergen Catholic out of New Jersey, nothing. East St. Louis, nothing. Here on Flow Sports. And we're back here as we get set for 3rd down. 3rd and goal at the 3. And when in motion, here's Tagliaferri back to pass, flips it end zone. That is in the end zone. Touchdown, Bergen Catholic. As that is a touchdown catch by Brian Porter.
Brian Porter, the 6'1", 200-pound wide receiver, using his size. Last year had 1 touchdown, 220 yards, and you see Porter just kind of come back across, got caught in traffic, got some separation, and give the offensive line a lot of credit. Tagliaferri was able to just sit back there and let Porter come across and found him for the touchdown.
And the kick is up, and it is good. So it is 7-0. Bergen Catholic with the lead over East St. Louis here on Flow Football. You see the drive. It was a good bit of running by both Najee Calhoun, number 6, and Dante Kane, and then a little bit of passing. Busso on the catch. A little flip into the end zone. Brian Porter getting the touchdown. And Bergen Catholic on the board. Well, Bergen Catholic, both these teams actually hang their hat on defense, but Bergen Catholic was really, really looking forward to getting the ball for the first time, Matt. And they got the ball, and they jammed it downfield.
Yeah, with the weapons that they have, and definitely a little bit of a size advantage for Bergen Catholic here today against East St. Louis. And you're absolutely right. They got great push. They were able to just run the football at will and, just continue to pound and wear down the defense, as you saw the defenders from East St. Louis as that drive continue, kind of hands on hips. And again, first game of the season for both of these teams. So you're going to have a little bit of that, football shape versus, just in the off season of weight room shape and doing sprints. It's a little bit different when you're, hitting someone in a different colored jersey. And, that'll take some time as you see the wind knocking the ball off, showing how windy it is right now in Ocean City. But you're going to see the first games of the season early on. You typically see more mental errors, and you might see a little bit more flags, but so far a pretty clean game by both teams.
Here comes the kickoff, and the kick is a good one. It's going to be returned this time, though, as East St. Louis will come back the other way, and that will only get to the 11-yard line. And the Flyers will not have good field position, as that was an outstanding tackle by Jordan Thomas, number 21.
Yeah, Jordan Thomas, you usually call his name on the defensive side of the football, showing what he can do on special teams. 4-star recruit committed to Ohio State, and Bergen Catholic continuing to just put pressure, whether it's been on offense, defense, and now with the big special teams play, setting up East St. Louis deep in their own end.
So deep in their own end indeed, as it's 1st and 10 at the 11. Flyers with the ball in the white. And run will be stood up. What a bit of defense there, as that is the first run for Myson Johnson Cook, and the defense was ready for him.
Yeah, Mason Mark leading the charge that time, the senior linebacker, 6 foot, 225, straight up the gut. But, just no push right now. And in the trenches, Bergen Catholic, both offensively, defensively, taking charge, as Johnson Cook had absolutely nowhere to run the football.
No gain officially, so 2nd down. 2nd and 10, 2 receivers to the right. They'll switch the tight end to the right side. And it's going to be a quarterback draw, and that will get across the 15 near the 20. Good run there by Reese Shanklin, the junior. Just kind of delayed and then skipped over and got some pretty good yardage. That'll be 3rd and about 3.
Trying to spread out Bergen Catholic that time, and designed run for Shanklin as they fake the handoff to Johnson Cook to the near side of the field to try to draw the defenders. And Shanklin, very patient run that time up the middle, showed off some of his athleticism to gain 7.
2 backs in the backfield. And this will go off left end and across the line for a first down. That will be Myson Johnson Cook. So he will get the first down. Kind of looked like a delayed play, and I don't know if that was by design or just them bumping into each other, but it didn't seem like a quick play at first, but he ended up getting the first down.
Yeah, Johnson Cook hit right around the line of scrimmage, but, he's not your average size running back. Johnson Cook listed at 6'3", 210 pounds for the junior, and that time made a couple people miss and bounced off of him to pick up the yardage needed for the first down.
2nd rated running back in the 2027 class. And he found a hole there, gets to the 35 for another first down. So now he's starting to warm up here, isn't he?
Yeah, well, in the first drive, we said we were a little bit shocked. They went mostly with the pass with the young quarterback, Reese Shanklin didn't really see much of Johnson Cook, just one carry. And on this drive now, feeding him a little bit. And, you got to let him start warming up. You got to get the offensive line, create the holes for Johnson Cook. And the last two plays definitely showing why Johnson Cook is a 5-star recruit.
44 seconds, on a minute 44 on the clock. Ball is bobbled at first, and this will be a run by Shanklin, who just retrieved the ball and got what he could, but it was a busted play. Going back to what you said a little while ago, and I was very, very intrigued by it, Matt Scoccoletti, along with Matt Goldstein, by the way. You mentioned the Bergen Catholic offensive line was bigger than East St. Louis. A couple of years ago, I saw East St. Louis play against St. Francis of Maryland in Canton, Ohio at the NFL Hall of Fame Stadium. And that was the biggest high school team I had ever seen. So I don't know if they shrunk or what happened, but they're not as big as they used to, I guess.
Well, you never know. It's, year after year, especially as we see continue in some of these types of schools where, they'll, bring players in similar to the transfer portal of high school football as well. So some years you might have a bigger line than others.
Right. But Bergen, we knew they were going to be big, and they're not 4-time defending state champs for nothing, as this is the 3rd and 12. Here's Shanklin. He is sacked again. Another beautiful play on the sack. Didn't catch who got that sack.
Yeah, Jackson Vaughn. Jackson Vaughn, that's his second time disrupting in the backfield, and he just had that snap count timed perfectly. He shot off like a cannon as that ball was snapped, and the right tackle had no shot whatsoever. Vaughn did a nice job bending and bringing down Shanklin.
So that is the second drive that we have had that has ended for East St. Louis on a sack. And they're not used to that. That is the end of the first quarter. We will go to the second quarter here with the score 7-0 Bergen Catholic, about to get the ball back, leading East St. Louis. Battle at the beach here on Flow Sports. Getting ready for the second quarter here. Scott Galletti along with Matt Goldstein. Glad to have you along here on Flow Sports. Shanklin, high snap being rushed. He gets the punt away. It is a pretty good punt. It will bounce and finally goes out. Or down, I should say, not out. But it was down nicely as the ball was down by James Bryant. Bryant, the junior. So 1st and 10 for Bergen Catholic. And Matt, I'll tell you what, Bergen Catholic, an opportunity to really get some positive momentum going to add on to what they did in the first drive.
Yeah, I mean, they moved down the field at will on that opening drive and a short punt that time. The ball went more high than far and then took a Bergen bounce as it bounced backwards, and 40 yards from the goal line will be Bergen Catholic to start this drive.
So here's a pass to the right side, and that is going to be a completion to Calhoun, who gets to about the 32.
As the misdirection right here on this play, as you'll see multiple times, faking the handoff and getting Calhoun slipping out, but a nice job that time by Randy Johnson coming all the way across the field, open field tackle. If he doesn't bring Calhoun down there is a lot of space in front of him.
That run goes inside the 30 to about the 27. Again, just a good mixture of plays at that time.
Yeah, they changed quarterbacks. They brought in Walker Snee, the freshman, and he stays in.
And he runs forward. He gets it to the 20, 15 to the 10, and now he is finally down as a late flag is thrown. He'll get to about the 7. But Walker Snee comes out of nowhere.
I think it's a late hit out of bounds. The Walker Snee, freshman, 6'3", 195 pounds, 2 straight quarterback runs, and the freshman, with the inexperienced Tagliaferri, as a sophomore, only played in 3 games, threw 3 passes all of last season. So Snee making a name for himself right now on the opener running the football.
And another run stood up there was Walker Snee. Snee is SNEE, 6'3", 195, so he's got good size.
Yeah, really good size for a freshman quarterback that time. And you could see trying to make something, give East St. Louis a lot of credit that time for filling the gaps. There was nowhere for Snee to go. You saw him try to cut and then cut back, but a nice job by East St. Louis stopping that.
10:03 counting down here in the second quarter. 3-yard touchdown pass. Tagliaferri to Brian Porter. And it looks like Tagliaferri is back in the game. So Tagliaferri back at quarterback. And this is a pitch. It goes to the right side, and this is going to be Calhoun getting close to the goal line. And Calhoun will run there to make it closer. They'll go no huddle here. 3rd down and goal. Calhoun again. He darts forward. He gets across the line. Is he in? Touchdown. Bergen Catholic touchdown. Najee Calhoun.
Well, Calhoun was close to scoring on the previous play. Got it down right around the 1-2 yard line, and they hurry up quickly. They've had success running the ball on this drive, and they give it to Calhoun. Offensive line created enough space for him to slither his way through, just crossed the goal line as he got stood up, and that's why it's a touchdown, 13-0 Bergen Catholic.
Jacob Soltis will kick. And the kick is up, and it is good. So it's Bergen Catholic with a 14-0 lead over East St. Louis. As you get a look here at part of this drive, as it was a little flip pass to Calhoun that got things going to mix things up. And then the backup quarterback, Snee, would get things going inside the 10. A little flip. Calhoun, he would get close, and he would close the door here on the touchdown run. 14-0 Bergen Catholic over East St. Louis. And what have you seen so far, Matt, that you're impressed with?
Well, I think just the way that Bergen Catholic's been able to push around a big, a good-sized front for East St. Louis, and they've, whether it's been in the passing game, their offensive line has been giving all sorts of time for Tagliaferri back there to throw the football. There's been holes opening up for the running game, and right now, and then you got to give Bergen Catholic, their defense has done a phenomenal job shutting down East St. Louis. You've seen Mason Johnson Cook had a couple decent runs, but other than that, they played very well defensively.
And they've done a very good job of keying on him, which is something you expected. But when you got a guy like that and everyone knows about him, it's going to be an emphasis.
Yeah, absolutely. You have you have your keys and you're going to try to get some misdirection, and you got to keep feeding them. And there's, Bergen Catholic loading up the box to expect the run. And, maybe that's a little bit why East St. Louis on their opening drive came out and tried to throw the ball a little bit more with Reese Shanklin on that opening drive. It was unsuccessful, had to punt. They go more to the run game on their previous one. They moved the ball a little bit on those couple big runs by Johnson Cook, but then Bergen Catholic, a couple sacks, Jackson Vaughn, both drives, end stopping sacks.
Run darting off right in. That will get close to a first down. Think it's going to be about 9, as that was a very, very good run by East St. Louis. His darting was Ahmad Coleman, number 26. He showed off good speed.
Yeah, Coleman last year, limited carries, just 20 carries, but 229 yards, 11.5 yards per carry.
Another run by Coleman as he darted forward. One thing that you notice on both those plays, he's got quick burst.
Yeah, he really does.
I think you can say that about all of them, but he's got a very quick first step. He got the first down, so 2 plays by Coleman yields the first down. First and 10 at the 48. Trying to get inside Bergen Catholic territory. So here's a delayed handoff, and standing up the running back again, Johnson Cook was stood up at the line. Bergen Catholic just saying, hey, give that guy the ball. We're going to stop him. We're going to make someone else beat you.
Yeah, I believe that was actually Amir Tillman that time, the third running back that we've seen now for East St. Louis running the football. And Tillman was third on the team last year in carries. So, trying to keep their running backs fresh.
5'8", 170 junior. He's number 5. I saw number 5. It looked like 6 because I'm expecting 6. And this is a big run over the middle, and this will get to about the 36. And another big run for Ahmad Coleman.
You said it exactly right, Scott. The burst that Coleman has as he touches the football, and give the offensive line of East St. Louis a little bit more credit on this drive. As you can see, they're firing off the ball a little bit better and creating some seams for their running backs to go up the middle.
Little flip pass, and that will go to Johnson Cook, who makes the catch near the right sideline. And Johnson Cook will have a first down on a pass. What a good setup there by Shanklin to act like he's handing it off there, and then just throws it down the right sideline to Myson Johnson Cook, who, man, that was a heck of a route. He got down there quickly.
Yeah, he did. And, they continue to look at the running game when you have multiple backs that are, providing good offense that time, and similar play that time, but handing the ball off with Shanklin. That was almost the identical play that Johnson Cook came out and got that reception on the previous play. That time they run the football and still get positive yardage.
Yeah, he got about 4 on the play before Tim Hogan, number 5, 6'2", 215 senior, made the stop. 6:21, second quarter. East St. Louis, 10-time Illinois State champions, won the 6A last year. And this is Johnson Cook again. About a couple of yards short of the first down, Johnson Cook on that run. But it's all about the line containing Bergen Catholic. And you mentioned, Matt, how big this team is. They're got muscle, and they're trying to bring it to East St. Louis.
And you look right now, hands on the hips right now for the defensive line, is, you said it, bring it, is East St. Louis right now on this drive. And, you got to like the response from East St. Louis. The game didn't start the way that they would have liked, but they've battled back.
Goes into the end zone, and a late flag is going to be thrown, as that was intended for Amir Tillman. I think what happened there, the defender just got caught against Tillman. You'll get a look at it here. They'll collide right here, and A little bit too much contact. At first, it looked like they were going to let it go, but they end up calling it, Matt.
Yeah, it was the right call that time. Gordon Thomas, the Ohio State commit that time, as the running back was coming out of the back. And, initially he bumped him, and you can't do that far down the field. You have those first few yards, 5 yards that you can put your hands on them. But once they get downfield, you can't do that. And he kind of put his hands out, stopped his route a little bit, continued to have his hands on his body, and that's when the official threw the flag.
First and goal, Coleman gets the carry, spins towards the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown, East St. Louis. He darted forward, got hit, and somehow just spun around and got daylight easily into the end zone.
Yeah, Nicholas Morrow had him stopped short of the goal line, but watch the power right there. Breaks through the tackle. Ahmad Coleman, 5'9", 181 pounds, using all 181 pounds there to put East St. Louis on the board.
There's a Bergen Catholic player down, so we will step aside here for a moment. 5:16 to play in the second quarter. East St. Louis is on the board now. Point after pending.
Hey, man, hit that like button for me. Hit that like button for me, man. I got 346 people in there. Show your boy some love. It don't cost $1. For you, it costs me, though. Hit that like button for your boy one time. Stop playing with me. Don't make me start popping my shit and start charging y'all and stuff like that. Y'all know who I am. Big six. I love y'all, though. We bleed orange and blue. That's right. Hit that like button for me.
Point after coming up here. Scott Coletti along with Matt Goldstein. Tom Thera is our producer, our crew. Game 1 of 2 here on Flow Sports today as that kick bloops through. And East St. Louis on the board 14-7. So let me ask you this, Matt. What do you think this does? East St. Louis, I mentioned 10 titles in Illinois. They have 854 wins, most all time in the state of Illinois, and 48 athletes playing college ball at various levels. So this is a proud program. They get on the board. So now Bergen Catholic, who's been running rush shot, as you look at part of this drive, and part of that drive was because of Ahmad Coleman, and then a catch of all things, Myson Johnson Cook, and Coleman. Good spin, got into the end zone free for the touchdown. But what does it do psychologically for both teams?
Well, I mean, it definitely for East St. Louis, I mean, they expect to win. And you just talked about the accolades of the program. And, it just goes to show the fight early on in the game. You're only trailing by 2 touchdowns at that point, but a great job by the coaching staff refocusing his team, getting back to the basics and going out there and executing. That's the biggest thing, especially early on in the season, is executing what you're supposed to do. And sometimes you get a little bit too amped up, obviously making the trip from Illinois to New Jersey. You're getting to play a team, number 17 in the country, and you just have to settle down. You expect to win. And, both these teams we mentioned won state titles last year. Bergen Catholic, they're on an 11-game winning streak. Their loss was the opener last year against IMG, and last year also East St. Louis, they lost to IMG for their only loss. That came in mid-October.
And that was a close one. That was a game that they look back and they feel, hey, we let that one slip away. But, yeah, both teams played IMG, and Bergen Catholic lost IMG, and all they did was run the table to a state championship after that. Casey Stadium, Ocean City, New Jersey is the setting. Battle at the beach. Second down for Bergen Catholic, 2nd and 10.
Every time you say turn the comments off, you getting blocked. Every time you comment, turn the comments off.
Flag was against
out the stream.
East St. Louis. So 1st and 5 now for Bergen Catholic. See the big center, Travis Nodelman, 6'1", 285. Looks bigger than his measurements, as that's a little handoff to the right side outside the numbers. And an effective run there for Dante Kane. Between him and Najee Calhoun, they just keep flipping the script. And who's going to run this time? Another run straight ahead. That gets to about the 28. So Calhoun resting on that one, as that was Kane again.
And now it's going to be for East St. Louis is, how do you stop this high-powered offense of Bergen Catholic, especially running the football? Your offense got on the board, and now it's the defense's turn. Can they get a stop, get the ball back for their offense?
Well, running, they're physical. They got 2 physical backs who can take a hit and give one as well. Here's a little flip by Tagliaferri outside the numbers. That's a catch to about the 31. Making that catch, Jamel Hammery, 6'2", 205 junior. First time we called his name, but I'm sure it's not going to be the last.
Hammery just dragging across the near side. A lot of motion that time trying to keep the eyes off of him, but East St. Louis did a nice job of recognizing it and bringing him down for a short gain.
Calhoun on the run that time. So Najee Calhoun just doing what he does. 230 carries last year, 1,293 yards, 13 touchdowns over 107 games. And you got, oh, by the way, the other guy, and he's pretty dang good. As Kane, 580 yards last year and 5 touchdowns. With the talent he has, I'm actually surprised he never had a game last year over 100 yards. But maybe they didn't mix it up as much. They're looking like they're doing this year. It's timeout on the field, 2:49 to go here in the second quarter. But when you got versatility like this and you got the experienced line up front, you just keep going to what works.
Yeah, pound the rock, make East St. Louis stop the run, and you're going to continue to do that. It's going to continue to wear down the defense, and then eventually you'll see at some point Tagliaferri will start throwing the ball around as well once East St. Louis is able to key in on the run.
So 14-7 is the score. College football here on Flow Football. Follow your favorite team right here as we bring you all the action on Flow Football all season long. Movement again. St. Louis wrong offside.
Yeah, Carnell McIntosh that time got a little too antsy, and that'll drive coaches nuts as you had him push behind the sticks, and then right there, Keltman trying to find the snap down and makes contact with the offensive lineman and gives a free 5 yards, and those 5 yards gives Bergen Catholic a first down.
Run this time gets to about the 40. Once again, your favorite college sports, as they have a home here on Flow College. Watch more than 20,000 college sporting events from 200 schools, 18 different conferences, only on Flow College. Head to flowcollege.com today to see everything now. Seeing a good game so far. We got 2:20 to go here in the second quarter. 14-7. Bergen Catholic took a 14-0 lead. They've scored on both drives. They're on their third drive right now. Tagliaferri, the quarterback, was audibleizing. St. Louis looks like they're getting antsy again. Tagliaferri back to pass. Flip over the middle. That's a nice catch and a nice run after catch, as that was beautifully done by Austin Busto. That's his second catch. Nice route as he went outside the hash marks, took a bullet pass from Tagliaferri, and got the extra yardage. Watch this pass right here and watch the run after.
Yeah, it was a great job of threading the needle by Tagliaferri, as there was two defenders in the area. And give Busto a lot of credit, keeping concentration on the ball, pulled it in for the first down, and now Bergen Catholic in business with under 2 minutes to go.
They gave the ball to Calhoun, who was stopped. A loss of one. Dante Kane back out there now, number 1. He's to the right of the quarterback, Tagliaferri. A whistle. See who it goes against this time. East St. Louis saying it's against Bergen Catholic, and I think the officials agree this time, Matt.
Yeah, it was a slot receiver that time, Jamel Hammer. You said you're going to hear his name again. I don't think he wants it being called for jumping a little bit early, but he was about a half second ahead of the snap count down the field.
Yeah, unfortunately, that isn't the way he wanted to have his name heard. Mentioned last year, just 1 catch for 1 yard, but I got a feeling he's going to be a little more in tune with the offense this year. Tagliaferri throws, and that's right side, and that is incomplete. Intended for Busto. Good job on the defense for keeping the offense at bay. Raheem Floyd, 6'1", 164 junior.
Yeah, really good coverage on the outside that time. And, again, when Bergen Catholic's been throwing the football, I mean, Tagliaferri has had all day to just sit back there, scan the field, and fire that one. That one he probably wanted back, it was closer to an interception than a completion.
So 3rd down. Tagliaferri with lots of time. Left side incomplete. Trying for Busto again. And this time, good defense on him by Philip White, number 8. 4th down now.
Ball was in the area for Busto to make that catch. And, that wasn't a bad throw that time from Tagliaferri, and Busto just couldn't bring it in. It would have been close right around the sticks for the first down, but because of that false start penalty, it kind of forced Bergen Catholic into passing-only situations, and the drive stalls for the first time as this is a fumble.
Yeah, fumble. Who got it? Almost it was Bergen Catholic, but Johnny on the spot there was number 9, Jabari Lofton, 6'2", 199, a D-back, a junior. And that was almost disastrous for East St. Louis. As you'll see, it was dropped, and they ended up getting the ball back. East St. Louis, Cortez Rupert trying to get that ball.
Yeah, Bergen Catholic just slides past the ball that time. It looked like it was going to be the fumble. Bergen Catholic was going to pick it up, but the ball bounces a little funny sometimes, and that time it bounced into East St. Louis's favor, and they dodge a bullet right at the end of the first half.
Now we'll see what East St. Louis does. They'll hand the ball off, and another good bit of defense by 3 men in red jerseys, just stopping the running back, as that was Tyson Johnson Cook again. Stop. The clock will wind down, and both teams will go to the locker room here. 14-7 is the score. Number 17, Bergen Catholic over number 25, East St. Louis. Here at a beautiful stadium. And we will come back with more here. Halftime. It's Bergen Catholic 14-7 over East St. Louis on Flow Football. How long do you think we got?
Appreciate y'all joining the stream with me, man, today. Appreciate everybody. Just do me one favor, hit that like button for me. If you can, hit that like button. I appreciate y'all, man. We'll be back after halftime.
Google Workspace with Gemini offers AI that's embedded in the apps you work with every day, like Gmail, Drive, and Docs. Generate documents, create images, and more without leaving your current work stream. That's Google Workspace with Gemini.
Race beyond limits.
Good evening. Glad to have your attention. The West Jersey Football Coaches Association, in conjunction with the Battle of the Beach event, is recognizing 5 individuals tonight for their contributions to South Jersey High School football. This is the Hall of Fame class of 2025. First, Mike Gatlin, Athletic Director. Mike was president of the West Jersey Football League, Cape Atlantic League, and South Jersey chapter of the National Football Foundation. He was the athletic director at Hamilton from 2001 to 2011, and returned to his alma mater, Mainland, to hold the same position before he stepped down last year. Gatley received the Athletic Director of the Year Award from the Directors of the Athletics Association for New Jersey for the 2019 and 20 school year. He is joined by his wife Nancy, daughter Megan Messner, and son Mike Jr., among other family and friends. How about a round of applause for Mike Gatley? Our next honoree is Mike Sheridan, coach. Sheridan coached at Sterling, Collinswood, West Shepherd, and Haddon Township. He stepped down as head coach of the Hawks in 2020. Sheridan was a standout offensive lineman and linebacker during the scholastic playing days at Sterling. He was a member of the unbeaten Group 3 championship team, which defeated Woodrow Wilson in the 1974 final in Atlantic City. After playing for 4 years at Davidson College, he returned to the area to teach and coach. His impact has been felt by players and fellow coaches alike across South Jersey. He is joined by his wife Sandy and mother Mary Jane Stevenson, among other family and friends. Congratulations, Mike. How about a round of applause for Coach Sheridan. Our next honoree is Matthew Schultz, assistant coach. Schultz has been a long-time assistant coach in South Jersey. A Washington Township graduate, he went on to star at Westchester University at linebacker and earned team captaincy honors for the Rams. He returned to the area after his collegiate days and put together a coaching career that included stops at Washington Township, West Shepherd, and Cherokee. He is known for being an architect of one of South Jersey's best defensive teams year in, year out, of the Chiefs. He's joined by his wife Leslie, son Matt, daughter Sarah, and mother Barbara, other family and friends. Congratulations and a round of applause for Matthew Schultz, assistant coach. Our next honoree is Kevin Minnick, South Jersey journalist. Kevin has covered high school sports in the area for more than 30 years, including time at the Gloucester County Times and the Courier Post.
With Gemini and Google Drive, AI summarizes long documents, PDFs, and invoices so you can uncover key insights from Drive. Save time with answers at your fingertips. That's Google Workspace with Gemini.
NJ.com, primarily covering high school football, boys basketball, and baseball. His impact on fellow journalists that he works for or with is still felt across the area. He works with one philosophy. Every kid has a story, and it's my job to tell them. He's joined by his wife Jenny and sons Rob and Jake. Got a round of applause for Kevin Minnick. Our final honoree could not be here tonight as he's coaching. Pete Lancetta, football coach, has won over 200 games along with 14 conference titles and 4 sectional titles during his career at Hamilton and now St. Augustine. He spent 26 years from 1989 to 2014 at Hamilton and went 215, 65, and 1 in that time. He has thrived at St. Augustine since taking over the program in 2017. The Hermits are perennially one of South Jersey's top teams. Now a round of applause for Pete Lancetta, coach. The West Jersey Football Coaches Association would like to salute all of its honorees. How about one more big round of applause for our 2025 Hall of Fame class. Thank you all for your attendance in the event, and we hope you're having a great time. Thank you.
Ohio State or Texas? Who winning Saturday? Ohio State or Texas? Who's winning Saturday? Bro, you can't be good and the coach don't like you. I promise you. If you good, the coach don't like you, even if he don't like
With Gemini and Google Drive, AI summarizes long documents, PDFs, and invoices so you can uncover key insights from Drive. Save time with answers at your fingertips. That's Google Workspace with Gemini.
At this time, we ask that we could clear the 50-yard line area so we can have the entertainment of our Bergen Catholic Crusader cheerleaders.
That's the way to talk, my boy. That's the way to talk. If you don't love yourself, ain't nobody gonna love you, baby. Hope you're a child, bro.
Hey, hunters. Did you know you play a key role in protecting U.S. pigs from the threat of African swine fever? If it ever came to the U.S.,
Or 14-7. For the Flyers to come back, bro, the O-line has to play a lot better, bro. But this ain't over by far. You know, we still in this, but I want to see the O-line play a lot better. And we still ain't even showing no passing game today. I want what's the temperature out there? Is it hot? Is it cold? Anybody know? IMG gonna smack Winslow.
I'm at a 6.3 Iris. My gain.
I definitely ain't seen the pass game today. I'm like, damn, where the pass game at? We usually be earning that joint out.
Yeah, I wasn't messing with gain. Where do you see it on your menu?
Watson's Labor Day sale is going on now. Right now, save up to $3,500 on.
Welcome to all the new viewers. Look, this is just a quick commercial break, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you hit that like button, man. If you want to subscribe, you know what I'm saying? Other than that, subscribe to Nosebleed Nation Football. That's where the Flyers game's going to be at after today. We was having some technical difficulties over there. But make sure you hit that like button for me and subscribe to Nosebleed Nation Football. You can also subscribe to this channel for hip-hop news, police videos, and just anything. We be kicking it over here. I'm out, man. Hit that like button. The game about to get started in about 3 minutes. Take y'all back.
Catholic map 14-7. It was 14-0 early. It was an outstanding drive, a combination of one
Boy,
and
shut
then
your
six.
look at that boy.
Of course,
boy, you
being
so
Dante Klein, and then a pass
old head.
will go into
Boy,
the end zone, and
eat
that
over
would
here on
score the
YouTube.
touchdown.
That's why you ugly.
That
And you
made
need
it
a haircut.
7-0, and then a little pass this time to the right side, and that was to Calhoun, and the run into the end zone got it in. Calhoun from 3, and it was 14-0 with 9.5 to play, but then a pass along the right side to Myson Johnson Cook, and the other running back, Ahmad Calhoun, taking over as well, as he didn't have as much running a year ago, but I'll tell you what, don't be surprised if he vies to be the leading back as well.
Yeah, no, you see what it does for Bergen Catholic to have a two-headed monster running the football, and if Ahmad Coleman can run the way that he did on the last couple of drives to complement Myson Johnson Cook, East St. Louis is going to have a very special running attack as well. And you look at the score, 14-0, the first two drives offensively and defensively, it was all Bergen Catholic. They scored on their first two drives. They shut East St. Louis down, but then the script flipped a little bit on the last two drives offensively. East St. Louis was able to score a touchdown and then get their first down defensively. So East St. Louis needed to gain their footing on the road here in New Jersey later on in that second quarter. And we did have a great second half in store for you.
Yeah, it should be a good one. As we're getting ready here. Ball's in the air. Bergen Catholic will haul it in. And here comes the run back, and not much on the run back. Good coverage there, as ultimately on the stop was East St. Louis.
Again, we talked about it earlier in the game, the way when Bergen Catholic had things going and they were going down the field on the one kick return that was brought out, that they got down, made a great special teams tackle, and East St. Louis doing the same thing that time with the ball not getting into the end zone. And nice job of putting them down, and the drive starts on the 15.
So 1st and 10 on the 15. Bergen Catholic. Movement here, flag. Bergen didn't look like they were ready to be set up.
Yeah, they shifted everyone, and with the shift, St. Louis was drawn offside.
I thought it was going to be pressure myself, but offside is called. Offsides. First and 10, Bergen Catholic. Quarterback Tagliaferri out of the gun. And the handoff goes straight ahead and slicing, dicing, getting to about the 24. Just moving forward. Dante Klein, 6 foot, 200-pound senior, very talented. Over 500 yards a year ago. Totality of what he brings to the table, though, makes him one of the top players on the team. As this is going to be a keeper, as Walker Snee back out there, and Snee, number 17, snuck his way in and ends up making a run, but a flag is on the play.
Yeah, Snee, the true freshman, we saw him have 2 great runs in the first half, and coming back in on this drive as a holding penalty will negate that run by the freshman Snee.
Second down now. Tagliaferri back in. He's number 12. Counting down here in the third quarter, 11-10. 14-7. Bergen Catholic. Up the road in New Jersey. I believe it's about a 3-hour jaunt to Bergen Catholic. Here's a pass along the near side. That is going to be incomplete, or is it a catch? It's a catch. How he came down with that, I don't know. But Austin Busso, another big play.
Oh, he popping it too. He popped seven. You can't be popping it, 7.
Breaking onto the scene today in the opener for Bergen Catholic. Very lightly used player last year, and seen him make a few good catches today. And again, look at this protection. Be able to sit back there, fire downfield. Really only the second time that we've seen Bergen Catholic try to stretch the field like that, and Busso does a
Right.
great job of hauling that in, bringing it in for a first down, crossing midfield.
Make sure we got it right. That was Russo, number 4.
They called him Russo at first. That's what I wanted to call him at first, but it is Busso. Kane just a straightaway run. Third down and about 7. Closer to 6 on the play, but third down nonetheless. Bergen Catholic wants to keep this drive going. They do not want to punt. They've had the momentum pretty much the entire game until East St. Louis got on the board. Pass in the right flat, and that's a big hit. That's a good catch as the ball was caught by Anthony Willis, his first catch here today, 6'3", 185 junior. Nice route, nice catch in traffic, and a first down for Bergen Catholic.
Yeah, Raheem Floyd coming up, 3-star player, Raheem Floyd, the junior, put in a big hit, give him credit for holding on to the football. And, you know, this is right where Bergen Catholic got shut down in the second quarter, that time able to convert for the first down.
So first down, little flip to the right side. That will be a catch. Gets to about the 32.
Yeah, trying to set up the screen that time to Najee Calhoun, and East St. Louis had that play sniffed out and not much of a gain, if any.
Second down and 8. 8:21 to play here in the third quarter. Ocean City, New Jersey. Cary Stadium. Darting forward, there's the run by the backup quarterback, Snee. For a freshman, he's got pretty good smarts in terms of following the line.
Yeah, and a good build as well. We mentioned 6'3", 195 for a true freshman. Definitely showing some power running the football as he goes again.
Yeah, he goes again to the outside this time, gets inside the 20. And on the third down play, that'll move the chains. First and 10 for Bergen Catholic. This drive a little more reminiscent of the first two.
Yeah, getting back to their footing is Bergen Catholic, but I'll tell you what, Walker Snee, I mean, every time he comes in, there's no second guessing that it's going to be a running play. He hasn't even looked to throw the football, just get it and run.
Right.
And, he's been very successful doing it.
That's the thing. You can have him scouted down, but if you can't stop him, you can't stop him.
Yeah, sideline warning that time on Bergen Catholic.
First and 10. Kane. He's hit hard, but gets to about the 17. Tackle made by David Davis, 6', 175 senior.
Kane, Calhoun, both in the backfield on that time as Kane was lined up in the H-back spot, and they gave it to him, and a little bit of running room.
Another run this time. Calhoun. Jabari Lofton, number 9 on the tackle. So third down. Here's a rush, and here's a sack as Tagliaferri is caught down. Good sack there. as that was a good 1-2 punch. David Davis and Carnell McIntosh in on the play.
Yeah, one of the few times that we've seen pressure in the face of a Bergen Catholic quarterback that time. And Caleb Brown, the big 6'1", 254-pound nose tackle that time, bringing him down for the sack, and that'll force a field goal opportunity for Bergen Catholic.
Yeah, big number 77, Tristan Hamilton, was also there. Ball is bobbled and it's loose, and East St. Louis trying to pick it up and run with it. And this may go for 6. This is Jabari Lofton. Touchdown, East St. Louis.
The white boys can run on that play, boy. I don't know what happened. My bad.
Now, talk about an absolute
guess what?
disaster.
God's got a kicker
You're
this
looking to
year.
try
I'm
to
being
score a
quiet. I'm
touchdown,
gone.
you take a sack,
I'm gone.
and then you set up the field goal, and a bad snap. You're unable to fall on the ball and scoop and score for Lofton, but let's see what the flag is.
Looks like they're going to give him the touchdown. So the penalty goes against Bergen Catholic, and the touchdown is good. We'll take another look at it. The ball was bobbled, and it would be picked up right about there. It looked like it was kicked at first and picked up, and it'll be, about a 54-yard touchdown scamper.
Yeah, and, the holder, Austin Busso, who's made some great catches, had that long pass play on this drive, the holder, and he went and dove to try to get the football, and it just slid out of his arms, and it took a little bit of a bounce. Jabari Lofton able to pick it up and scoop and score. So the sure-handed Busso has trouble on the snap there, and a big special teams play for East St. Louis with the extra point up and good, ties this one up at 14.
So brand new game here with 5:27 to play. We are in the third quarter, and we will come back in a moment here on Flow Football. $14 all to score. Number 17, Bergen Catholic, and number 25, East St. Louis. A special teams mistake on one end, and a special teams good play on the other. East St. Louis coming up with that play. Jabari Lofton on that long return, and we are all knotted up. Return this time again for Bergen Catholic.
I think the ball came out.
St. Louis saying they have it. Bergen Catholic saying they have it. The guys in stripes.
Yeah, I think Bergen Catholic saying that the returner was down, and East St. Louis saying the ball came out, and the officials are now going to discuss. They haven't made a signal either way.
I believe that was Jaden Wilson, number 18, coming up with the ball. Get another look at it. It will be returned. He's hit there. He's down. Hard to tell where the ball comes loose.
Yeah, the ball flipped out definitely early. I mean, games like this, there's, obviously no instant replay, but I think the officials missed that one. Circle that play is 1 to see how this game could be decided, as it looked like it was going to be back-to-back big special teams plays for East St. Louis, and the official just didn't see it. The ball popped backwards and nowhere near where he was down when he was falling to the ground, and I think that's why the officials didn't see it, as it went quickly into an East St. Louis player's hands, and Bergen Catholic getting a little New Jersey home field love, I believe.
Get another look at it.
See, the ball's out.
There's the hit. There went the ball.
The ball's way in the back.
Ooh.
David Davis, the
looked
player
like
that
St. Louis got it.
It was a clear as day fumble.
Yeah, it was a clear as day fumble. I didn't see until that particular replay who got the ball. It was East St. Louis for sure. Wow. So we will mark that down to see if it comes back to haunt Bergen Catholic. The one thing that's haunting them now is the defense for East St. Louis, which has really stood up.
Yeah, 14 straight unanswered points for East St. Louis. Defense starting to fly around for the Flyers, and you mentioned East St. Louis known a lot for their defense, and early on they struggled, but really have settled down since about the beginning of the second quarter.
There's a rollout and a pass, and it's awry, as that was a hit by East St. Louis. Hear people yelling that it was intentional grounding, but it wasn't intentional because he was socked on that play, and that ball just went flailing.
Yeah, Caleb Brown, the defensive lineman that time, put in an absolute shot on Tagliaferri.
Shot is right. Watch this.
Caleb Brown just overpowers the offensive lineman and then pulling him down. And yeah, he might have got away with one right there for intentional grounding.
Here's the kick, a wobbly one. And East St. Louis will dodge out of the way of the ball, and they will get it at their own 41 with a chance to take their first lead of the game. So Scott Coletti along with Matt Goldsting here at Carey Stadium, Ocean City, New Jersey, the site. Your thoughts on the momentum swing?
Well, I mean, there's three phases of the game, and special teams obviously has changed the momentum as Bergen Catholic was driving down the field. Looked like they were at least going to get three, and then a fumbled field goal attempt turns into a scoop and score touchdown for East St. Louis. And then on the ensuing kickoff, it should have been East St. Louis ball. Their defense still gets the 3 and out, and now their offense, everything moving in the Flyers' favor.
Good spinning right there by Myson Johnson Cook, the talented transfer from DeSoto High School a year ago, where he ran for over 900 yards, 14 TDs, averaged 4.4 a carry, and you can see why. The physicality on him is very, very good. Also seeing number 26, Ahmad Coleman, come out and showcase himself quite a bit today, but here's a pass by Shanklin. That's to the right sideline. That's a catch inside the 50. Ronnie Goldmiller getting his second catch of the game, and Goldmiller knows how to get open.
Yeah, Goldmiller had a catch on the opening drive, and then it been quiet offensively. And really, the reason he has been quiet is it's pretty much been nothing but running plays. And I haven't really seen Shanklin throw the ball, and that time they do and pick up a first down.
First and 10 at the Bergen Catholic 45. Shanklin throwing again, right sideline, got a man, and that is inside the 25 to about the 20. Another nice route down the right sideline, as this time Ahmad Sharp makes the catch.
Yeah, the Eastern Michigan commit Sharp that time. You see him in motion, and gets a player, waits for it to open. The one receiver comes, kind of sets a pick for him, but allows Sharp to get behind him to the outside, go a fly pattern down the sideline, and another nice thrown ball there by Shanklin.
First and 10 Johnson Cook lost the ball. It's still loose, and it looks like Bergen Catholic has it. That is going to be recovered by Bergen Catholic. Mason Mark, who's been Johnny on the spot at times throughout this game, the 6'2", 225-pound senior. You see, look at the student section celebrating as this is a miscue. As thanks to the hitting right there, they knocked the ball loose. You see the defender stripping at the ball, and finally it came loose, and Mason Mark got on it, and Bergen Catholic got that turnover right back.
Yeah, you got to hold on to the football. I believe it was Darnell Wilson that pulled the ball out of Johnson Cook's hands, and what looked to be another momentum building drive for East St. Louis. They turned the ball over.
A flip pass. This has got potential as it goes to Kane out of the backfield, but the defense converged on him. At first, Kane looked like he had all day to run. All of a sudden, that gap wasn't as wide as when he caught the ball.
Yeah, no, good pursuit that time by the East St. Louis defenders, and I think they might got away with a little bit of face mask that time. It looked as if the defender pulled Kane, and that what slowed him up initially was grabbing on the face mask, but no flag, and it'll bring up second down.
Yeah, he still got 6, but that looked like it was going to be more. Here's a flare down the right sideline, and that is going to be a catch. Nicely done. Anthony Willis again running a good go route down the right sideline and coming up with the grab. 1st and 10, Bergen Catholic.
Well, very similar play as the Bussa one earlier, and that time just a straight fly pattern as well, and Anthony Willis all thrown in there nicely from Tagliaferri, and big first down for Bergen Catholic.
Beat his man down the right sideline, and there's a fumble, and who got it? Looks like Bergen Catholic somehow, some way got that ball back.
Yeah, I thought that was
for
in
sure that it
hands
was
of
going to be a
Phillip White.
turnover.
Yeah, Phillip White, the defensive back, was right there as we get a look. You'll see the safety White coming in on the blitz as the ball
Yeah, he's
falls
right
out.
there.
It
Looks
just
like
slipped
he's
through
got
his
it.
hands.
And ended up being a leg recovery by the running back, Kane. Got it with his legs.
Things getting a little sloppy here with fumbles from both teams. Bergen Catholic fortunate to recover that one and keep this drive alive.
Now we'll bring the third quarter to an end.
So that ends the quarter. We go to the 4th quarter. Knotted up at 14, number 17 Bergen Catholic, number 25 East St. Louis, here on Flow Sports. Fourth quarter we go. Scott Coletti along with Matt Goldstein. Game number 1 of our doubleheader here today. Number 6 IMG taking on another New Jersey State champion, winning their first title a year ago, and that is Winslow Township out of New Jersey. It's kind of weird, Matt. You got 2 New Jersey teams. Bergen Catholic about 3 hours or so from Ocean City, and the closer team's about an hour. So it's not really a home advantage. It's a home state advantage, but not a home advantage.
Yeah.
Here's a handoff and getting a quick burst. Najee Calhoun stopped at the 41. Leon Howard Jr., one of the guys, along with Phillip White, number 8 on the stop there. So timeout for injury. We'll step aside here on Flow Football.
All right, we got some breaking news for y'all that don't know. They say the Packers just got Micah Parsons. The Cowboys have traded Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers. Say right here, I'm commenting on the screen, traded him for 2 first-round picks and Kenneth Clark. What y'all think about that, man? Who gonna win this game? Do me one favor, hit that like button, man. I appreciate y'all. I'm out. What up, Shad?
Number
Hey, that's the
74,
mayor of
Harold
East St.
Kang,
Louis,
the
y'all. Hey, man, he
injured
gives
player
back to
going
the
off the
community.
field
So
on his
whenever
own
y'all
power.
see
We've
him
had a
asking for
couple of
something, he
those
need it for the
today, but
kids, man. He give back to the
thankfully,
community.
Matt, nothing
Got
serious.
89 blocks, one of my
No, it does
favorite
not look
people of all
serious. And
time from the
hope
89
he's
blocks.
okay. And
You're going to go
that's a
down in history, my
good
boy.
thing. Injury-free football here so far in the opener for both these schools that have title aspirations on their minds, as getting a win against another ranked team in a national game will do a lot to boost you nationally.
And then I was about to say, for the most part, we've been penalty free. And before I can even blurt that out, there's a penalty. This will go against Bergen Catholic, but it has been a penalty free game. But when you're driving and the game is tied to begin the fourth quarter, you do not want that to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like early in the game there was a lot less mistakes, less penalties. And as this game has gone on, we've seen more and more fumbles and some flags be thrown.
Up the ladder pass. Nice catch by Anthony Willis again. I'll tell you what, he knows how to use his 6'2 frame. That's the second time we've seen him go up with the long arms and make the play.
Yeah, now decision time for Bergen Catholic. I mean, they're kind of in that range. Is it too close to punt the football? It's too long for a field goal, and they're going to keep their offense on the field right now and go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, 4th down is indeed the situation. They are going to go for it with the game tied. Calhoun in the backfield. Tagliaferri. Is he trying to draw him off? They're only going to get 5 if he does. He takes the snap, so they are going to run the play. Tagliaferri looking over the middle. Nice pass and a nice catch. And that will be a 1st down. There's that man again, Austin Busso.
Yeah, Busso does a great job that time running his route. He ran his route 1 yard past the 1st down sticks, gave the target to Tagliaferri, and so many times you see that receiver want to creep in, or they don't run the route all the way to the sticks, not knowing where it is, and come up short that time. Busso, who's had a great game today, the junior, runs his route past the sticks and picks up the 1st down.
Pass deep downfield. That's going to be incomplete. Goes out of the end zone. So Tagliaferri airing it out. His intended receiver was Jamal Hammery.
Yeah, it looked like there was some miscommunication that time from Hammery, as Hammery kind of stopped his route, and Tagliaferri thought he was going into the corner of the end zone, and that's why it seemed like he overthrew him so much.
Three wideouts to the right. Busso is over there along with Hammery. 2 of the guys. Calhoun in the backfield. Calhoun to carry. They converge on him, and he's not going anywhere. That'll be no gain. Once again, the big line stacking them up. Caleb Brown, number 54, one of the guys in there. When it comes to that push and shove play, East St. Louis has come up with it lately.
Yeah, early in the game, it was Bergen Catholic able to run the ball in between the tackles at will, and East St. Louis has done a nice job of filling the gaps and shutting that down a little bit. And, you know, right now, you're Bergen Catholic, ball on the 30. You're probably a little bit too far out of Soltis's field goal range. So, you know, this is 4-down territory with the way that I'm looking at it. You don't need to pick up all 10 yards right here. You can try to cut it in half if you need to.
Plenty of time towards the end zone. That is incomplete. There is contact, but I don't think they're going to call anything. On the coverage, Raheem Floyd. So it's going to be 4th down Tagliaferri getting consoled. So is the front line for Bergen Catholic. Well, it's turned out to be the kind of game that we expected. Just a back and forth physical affair. Both teams very, very talented. We'll see what Bergen Catholic is doing here.
They're going to have to burn a timeout if they don't get there quickly. They're taking a lot of time on this one and a lot of confusion on a fourth down play. Might be smart to call the timeout and make sure you have the right personnel, right play call in, as Tagliaferri was looking to the sideline trying to get the play.
He's going for it. He's got time. He throws over the middle. It's incomplete. And East St. Louis has held. The defense by East St. Louis coming up.
Yeah, he had Busso open back there, and it looked as if he threw it more on a line drive than put in some air underneath the ball, the Busso to the back of the end zone. But East St. Louis holds, and we continue to see these defenses stepping up as we get to take a look here. And you'll see Busso, who's had some big catches in this game, and he's wide open. The ball just not thrown up in the air in his area. That could have been a touchdown.
Pass to the left side. That's incomplete. Has putting out his arms there on the defense for Bergen Catholic. Xavier Jackson, 6'2", 190 senior. He is a good one. Actually, a very good one. Both these teams loaded at pretty much every position on defense. The linebackers are stout. The backs, the corners, the line. Run straight ahead. This is Ahmad Calhoun, or Coleman, excuse me, and Coleman on the run. So Coleman has done very well here in this game.
Yeah, they're going to give him the first down.
East St. Louis in the past has also been known to follow ball control. So we'll see what they do here with 9:20 to play to maybe get the clock down a little bit. This is going to be a run to the left side. That's Tillman, and Amir Tillman. Good job of getting to the outside. And at first it looked like he wasn't going to have any running room and ended up getting himself about 5.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I mean, the fanfare, right, is all around Myson Johnson Cook, and deservingly so. But, the way that Ahmad Coleman and then Amir Tillman have spilled at times, I mean, they have 3 very capable running backs here in East St. Louis.
The junior, Reese Shanklin, at quarterback, gets the snap and gives the ball forward. In the left flat, just simple running once again by Tillman. So Tillman will come out of he looked like he was coming out of the game. Actually coming out will be Coleman. So Tillman will stay out there with Johnson Cook. A lot of 2-back offense here. Tillman and Johnson Cook in the backfield. 8:43 on the game clock. And a run off left end. That's a big hole, and that is Johnson Cook. And he is gone. Touchdown, East St. Louis.
Alexander Brooks had just said that whole
Myson Johnson Cook, the last time he touched the ball, he fumbled it, and it had been Coleman and Tillman, the carries on that drive, and they go back to the top back. Johnson Cook gets to the outside, and Johnson Cook showing why he's the number 2 rated athlete in the class of 2027.
Definitely the number 2 running back and the number 2 athlete as well. What a run by him. Ron Baker to hold, and the kick is up, and the kick is good. East St. Louis has
Hey,
taken
boy, we got a
21-14
kicker this
lead
year.
here.
I got to come on screen for this.
49-yard
I
scamper
think they
down the
heard
left
my
side.
cries
And who
all
was one of
last
the
year.
lead
They
blockers?
heard my
Number
cries.
5, Amir
I
Tillman.
even ran down on the head coach at the gas station. I say, Coach,
Absolutely, one of
we
the
need a
offensive
kicker.
tackles out
He said,
there,
hey,
and
Chuck, Big
Tillman,
Chuck,
who was lined up in the
mind your
backfield
business,
as well,
man.
blocking.
I got something for you. Just
You get
hold tight.
blocking, you get
We got a
Johnson Cook
kicker,
running
y'all. Let's
downhill.
go.
Turns into 7
We
points.
might
for
get
St.
IMG
Louis.
this year. We got a kicker.
Well, it goes back to what you were saying earlier, Matt, about receivers. Well, they don't always want to be the blocker, but sometimes they come up with a big block. That time, Tillman, as if he was a front lineman, went right and took the blocking job and took it well.
Yeah, he really did. Him and the left tackle blocking down the field, and no one even put a hand that time on Johnson Cook, and he gets his first touchdown for East St. Louis, of course, transferring from DeSoto in Texas last season.
Yeah, where he had 14. Kick is going to be a short one, and Bergen Catholic will get the ball at their own 35 as the ball was returned by Bergen Catholic. So now we'll see what the Crusaders can do here against the Flyers.
5-yard line. It's the Bergen Catholic first down.
First and 10 officially at the 36. And the run goes forward, and that is number 6, Najee Calhoun. At least with the exception of Dante Kane, most of the time the ball is handed off to number 6 for both teams.
Yeah, Calhoun for Bergen
That's
Catholic.
made it easy.
Johnson Cook, absolutely. Give us a break, you know?
Right. Here's another run forward. This will be close to a first down, about a yard short. But again, the running game, a big key to both teams is Calhoun, the run again. So now I'm looking for number 1 as this will be one of the guys going out of the game. Lone setback, quarterback under center, and that is a big tackle for loss. Beautifully done as Calhoun is stuffed. And man, what a huge defensive play for East St. Louis. Is coming up with that play, I believe, was Amir Tillman. Or was it? Who was that?
No, I think it was Ronnie Gomiller, the two-way athlete for East St. Louis.
It was Gomiller, okay.
They stuff him at the line, and then Gomiller pulls him down a yard back, and Bergen Catholic going to go for it again on fourth down.
4th and 1 again, and now they're going to burn a timeout. 21-14, East St. Louis with the lead over Bergen Catholic. You're watching high school football on Flow Sports.
5-1-9. If you have a winning ticket, come up to the press box door area. 347-65-19.
Hey, if y'all want the IMG game, all you got to do is type IMG in the comment. Hit the like button and type IMG in the comments, and we coming back for IMG tonight.
And we're back here. 6:16 to play. 4th quarter, Bergen Catholic lining up for another 4th down play. It's 4th and 1. Ball is right at the 45. Near the middle of the field, bunch set. Quarterback under center, and this is a delayed handoff. Inside handoff to Dante Kane, who gets the first down. Good job there by the quarterback tackler Ferry, as he acted like it was going to be a straight handoff and then just kind of darted it to Kane who did the rest.
Yeah, big confidence that time for Bergen Catholic after turning it over a couple times, going for it on 4th down. That time they pick it up and they keep this offensive drive alive as we're halfway through the 4th now.
Running back is stood up on the play there. Once again, that was Calhoun.
All right, we coming back for IMG tonight, so y'all make sure y'all hit the subscribe button.
Gregory Bell, one of the guys on the stop for East St. Louis. Gain of 1, 2nd down and 9. 5:25 to play. Lots of time, but a key series here for Bergen Catholic, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, the clock going. It's still a 1-score game. It's not a must score on this drive, but definitely would be in their favor if they can score, as Walker Sneeze actually stood up for probably the first time all game when he's gone in there running the football for the quarterback position.
And he still gained a yard, but you're right. The defense saw number 17 and said, okay, he's getting the ball, he's running. They did a good job of containing him this time. Tagliaferri back in.
Be interesting to see if we see Snee able to, throw the ball, see what his arm strength looks like. We obviously have seen what he can do running the ball.
Tagliaferri out of the gun now. And Tagliaferri back to pass, a little flip. It's tipped up in the air and incomplete. Was that number 2 there who tipped it up?
Yeah, Ronnie Gomiller. Believe it was Gomiller who tipped it as they were trying to set up the wide receiver screen to Anthony Willis on the near side of the field. And now 4th down once again. It looks as if they're going to punt on this one.
They are indeed going to punt. As the punt is away, it's going to bounce towards the end zone. They can't hold it. They tried to down it. It'll be 1st and 10 for East St. Louis at the 20-yard line. This is where East St. Louis is known to take their time and get a 1st down here and there and try to run out the clock a little bit.
And East St. Louis really midway through the 2nd quarter really started running the football much better, and I'm sure that's what they're going to try to do here is try to.
They mentioned it IMG because they want the IMG game.
The ultimate college fan experience is now here. Head to flowcollege.com to watch more than 20,000 college sporting events from 18 different conferences, all in one place here at Flow Sports. Run goes to about the 25.
Stopped by Jackson Vaughn. Gain of about 5. Goes up 2nd down, 5.
So 2nd and 5 for East St. Louis. 6A champion in Illinois a year ago. That's going to be a good stop. Johnson Cook on the run. Jordan Thomas, we've called his name a bunch, on his way to Ohio State on the stop.
Yeah, it was a nice job coming up and stopping the big running back, Johnson Cook, and officials timeout for something.
Well, 3:33. You do not want East St. Louis to get another 1st down because that'll give them more time. So this is a huge play, in my opinion, for Bergen Catholic's defense. And I think the timeout is for strategy.
Yeah, no, I agree with the timeout. It looked as if the officials said it was an officials timeout, though.
That's what it looked like at first, but I don't know.
I know they have implemented water timeouts halfway through quarters that are official timeouts for player safety in certain states, and not sure if that's what we're getting here.
I think it was officially an injury timeout, Tom Farah telling us, our producer. You hear the crowd, the student section making noise. Good student section coming down the road to Ocean City. It's going to be a run to the left and getting a second burst, a third burst, a fourth burst, and a first down. How about that for Johnson Cook?
Yeah, Timothy Hogan beat Ronnie Gomiller to get into the backfield, and Hogan had his arms wrapped around Johnson Cook, but Johnson Cook so powerful, able to run through the arm tackle, turn up field, and pick up a first down.
That is a big first down. Under 3 to go. Fourth quarter action. Give to Tillman this time. He gets to the outside. Tillman a good gain. He'll get about 6. Just following the blockers, and the key is when they have an opportunity, they make sure they are going forward.
Yeah, and the other thing that Tillman did smart is he was going up the field, and he could have cut towards the outside, and instead of cutting to the outside and potentially going out of bounds to stop the clock, he came to the near side, stayed in bounds, which would keep the clock going, and Bergen Catholic that time now calls a timeout.
Yeah, so timeout on the field with 2:42 to play. Tense time here for both teams. Bergen Catholic's only loss last year was the opener against IMG in this stadium. Second down, we'll call it 4. Shanklin out of the gun, hands it off. Someone lost a helmet, but down the left sideline, that's another big run. This time by Amir Tillman showing off the speed. Speed and breakability right there.
Hey, they so playing with the clock. They holding the clock. They hold it over them, boy. And they playing clock games, y'all. Pay close attention to this clock, though.
Ran down the field, picked up the first down. He did go out of bounds, which stopped the clock.
.235 to play. Straight handoff, and that's not going anywhere for Johnson Cook. Brought down nicely on the play. Vaughn on the tackle.
And right now, ball security's got to be the number one thing for these running backs for East St. Louis, as we saw Johnson Cook have the ball ripped out of his arms earlier this game. And for Tillman, who's in the game right now, as well as Ahmad Coleman, if they get the football, as it's not about trying to score a touchdown right now, it's making sure first and foremost you hold on to the football, because everyone on Bergen Catholic is going to be pulling at the ball, punching at the ball, scratching at the ball to try to create a turnover.
Getting to the outside, there's another pretty good run, but they stop him a little short. That looked like it was going to be better than it was, but still an effective run. So minute 40 to go. The key is East St. Louis, Matt, has the lead and the ball. Bergen Catholic, not a lot of time at all, but they need the ball before they can even think about doing anything.
Yeah, it looks like burned their final time out there. So if East St. Louis here on third down able to pick up a first down, that would ice the game. Big opportunity right here for Bergen Catholic to try to get the ball back, or force East St. Louis. We'll see if they don't pick it up here. Would they go for it on fourth down or try to pin Bergen Catholic back and force a longer field?
54-yard return, if you will, of a missed kick. Bad snap, and Jabari Lofton ran it back with 5:27 to go. And then early in this quarter, Mason Cook Myson Johnson Cook with a 49-yard run to give them the lead, and that's where we stand. There's a pass up the ladder, and what a catch. My goodness. Myson Johnson Cook showing he can catch the ball.
That's first down.
Yeah, that's why he's rated #2 athlete, and not just as a running back. He's the #1 rated running back, #2 athlete, comes out of the backfield, and the ball's high, and Johnson Cook going up, and great concentration to hold on to it. And that should.
Actually, it looks like he didn't hold on to it on the read. I thought he caught it in the live vibe, but that was clearly a miss. So my apologies there. I thought he came down with it.
Yeah, it looked as if the official said that he caught it, and they must have talked things over and ruled it incomplete.
So this is key. 4th down now. Let's get another look at it here. Yeah, on the live eye, it looked like somehow he came down with it, but you'll see right here, looks like he has it. Oh, and then it's knocked loose.
Came out.
But it wasn't until I saw the replay. Amari Newell, number 27. You look at the student section here, 4th down. 4th and 7. Punt it away. There is pressure. They got the ball, and that's going to be picked up, and that's going to be ran back for 6. Can you believe it? Touchdown!
Oh my God, bro!
My goodness, that is ran back by the guy who
just
had
what the hell? What the hell?
Wow, we talked about the plays in special teams, and very often scoop and score for East St. Louis on the fumbled field goal attempt, and Bergen Catholic bringing the punt block. East St. Louis unable to pick it up, and Amari Newell scoop and score as coming straight through and blocking that one for Bergen Catholic, I believe, was Jordan Thomas, the Ohio State commit, and Amari Newell gets into the end zone, and Bergen Catholic PAT away from tying it.
And we got a kick that injured.
Yes, that was about a 38-yard return. Wow, they did line up like
going for the dub.
How about that?
Minute
23 to play, so now things are getting very interesting. You look at it again. There's the block, beautifully done by Jordan Thomas, as he would get his mid on it. Jordan Thomas has come up big a lot in this game, but that was a huge turn of events. More than a minute 23 to play. I guess they didn't have. Yeah, it does look like they're going for it.
What's up, my girl?
Hey, it appears they're going for it.
And they're going for it.
Roll of the dice here. Tagliaferri. Calhoun to his right. Man goes in motion, a rollout, a little flip, and that is going to be into the end zone. Brian Porter, 2-point conversion. Bergen Catholic with the lead. Porter with a touchdown reception, now a 2-pointer.
We got this. Don't fret, we got this.
The first score of the game was a Tagliaferri pass to Porter, and the big 2-point conversion right here, as you see Porter in motion, just continues on. Tagliaferri gets the ball out of his hand quickly. The momentum crosses the goal line. It was Porter scoring first, Porter with the 2-point conversion, and Bergen Catholic with the 1-point lead.
Well, you can see just on the setup, when Porter went in motion, that was a set play because once Tagliaferri got the ball, He had his eyes on Porter and nobody else and quickly got it to him. Watch this. You'll see him in motion. Tagliaferri sees him. Boom. There's your score. Perfectly executed.
Busso in the slot goes straight up to kind of throw the defender off, screen the defender a little bit to create that space for Porter coming across, and he cleared out the space enough, and Tagliaferri put it right in stride. Easy 2-point conversion for Bergen Catholic. Still a lot of time left. 1:23, a lot of time.
What a turn of events. Jordan Thomas with a block and then a touchdown return. And then the touchdown on the run back and then the pass to Porter for 2. 22-21 in favor of Bergen Catholic. We got 1:23 to play. It is windy as you see. The ball is being held. Big boot. And 1st and 10 at the 20. So Reese Shanklin now will come back onto the field.
Yeah, and East St. Louis having to go into that stiff wind, which can affect throwing the ball down the field. Is East St. Louis still with a couple timeouts left, so they're still able to use the middle of the field. They could potentially run the ball if they want to as well, but anything for trying to get into field goal range is going to be much more difficult, as we saw the last extra point for East St. Louis going in this direction, barely making it over the crossbar. So I think it's all or nothing right now for East St. Louis.
Here's Shanklin passing. High pass over the middle. That's a completion. Getting to the outside nicely is Ahmad Sharp, and Sharp getting all the way across the 40.
Big boy tight end.
Let's see where they mark him. I think they're going to mark him close to the 45. But that was a big, big play right there.
Yeah, beautiful play call, setting up the screen to the tight end Sharp, and he had to make one man miss down the middle of the field, and he did. Turns up field, and East St. Louis in business, and Sharp gets out of bounds, stopping the clock as well. They're setting the screen as you see Sharp, and he had to make Timothy Hogan miss. He did, and made another man miss, and runs down the sideline. Big play.
He was just throwing stiff arms everywhere. Now here's a run by Shanklin. He's got room, and he is going to go out of bounds inside the 40 of Bergen Catholic.
They definitely.
East St. Louis on the run.
48, bro.
We haven't seen Shanklin run the ball much today, and that time pulling it down as there was pressure in the backfield, goes downfield, and again gets out of bounds, and East St. Louis is not going away easily.
Ron Baker, one of the receivers along the near side. See him in your picture. First and 10. Shanklin, little screen. And that's going to go for good yardage as avoiding a tackle and getting inside the 30 to about the 27.
That's a risky play. I wouldn't run there no more on this drive. I wouldn't do it. That's a risky play.
It looked as if Tillman was going to get brought down for a very short gain, and Tillman somehow made about 3 or 4 players miss, gets upfield, picks up a first down. As he's injured, it'll stop the clock because of the first down. The clock will start once the officials spot the ball after the injury to Tillman.
Yeah, I don't know how he got that yardage, as it looked like he was going nowhere. As we will look at it here.
Yeah, Jackson Vaughn, look at that get off. Thought he was going to have a sack there, and right there splitting through 4, missed tackle, little spin move, and picks up a first down, and a lot of body weight landing on Tillman. Tillman just 5'8", 170 pounds, but a lot of fight in him.
Yeah, he went from being down at the 41 to bringing it all the way to the 29.
And East St. Louis needs to hurry. The officials started the clock. They're still taking their time to snap this.
Straight handoffs. That goes to Ahmad Coleman, and he's not going anywhere this time. 45 seconds counting down, a 1-point game. Bergen Catholic over East St. Louis. Opener for both teams here. Battle at the beach in New Jersey. Shanklin is going to be brought down. That's a sack. Brought down at the 30. They have a timeout. They need to use it here. That is a big defensive play by Bergen Catholic.
Yeah, again, pressure in the backfield to Shanklin, and he really didn't have an opportunity. He tried to stay up, stood up for a second. If we take a look at that play again, but a big stop for Bergen Catholic as East St. Louis was really moving the ball, and when they needed a stop, they got it. And again, we saw the get off on the previous play, and from the near side, that time from the top of the screen, Jackson Vaughn once again. He's a force to be reckoned with, pulling Shanklin down. He's been in the backfield all game long.
He was in the backfield as if he was one of the running backs. He got back there so quickly.
Yep, and there he is at the top
Shanklin.
of the screen. Keep an eye on him.
Right. 16 seconds, third down. Getting by the pressure. Here's going to be a throw that's over the middle, and that is inside the 10, and that will be down to about the 7.
He crossed the line. He crossed the line. He had to run, and
Not sure how many timeouts they have left.
Yeah, I think Shanklin was past the line of scrimmage. Yeah, I think he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw the football.
Oh, this is going to be big. Ronnie Go Miller on the catch, but yes, you're right. Wow. So they basically have one play. It's a loss of down, but that's moot right now.
You see the line of scrimmage is about the 29-yard line, and Shanklin right there. It was close. That's a tough call for East St. Louis. It looked as if he might have been just at or just behind, but now they'll have one play right here. Final play.
Shanklin gonna go. He's at the 20. He cuts down the middle. He's hit. And Bergen Catholic has come up with the victory here. The celebration is on for the Crusaders as Bergen Catholic victorious 22-21. And it was a blocked punt leading to a touchdown that got them the victory.
Now, what a game of ebbs and flows as Bergen Catholic was up 14-0 and 21 straight unanswered points for East St. Louis before that block punt. And Bergen Catholic then gambled, goes for 2, converts it, and that's how they get the 22-21 victory on the opening game for both these schools.
That is unbelievable.
Say, Jersey Rob, that's how you feel, mama.
So as we talk about this game, your thoughts just of the game. Both teams really putting it all out there.
Yeah, I mean, it looked as if it was going to be an all-offensive show as this game was early on. And as the team settled in, the defenses really picked it up. And, we saw some special teams errors on both sides. And, I go back and I said mark it just after that touchdown. That Jabari Lofton scoop and score that tied the game. Remember, Bergen Catholic fumbled the ball. The officials missed it. It would have been first down inside the red zone for East St. Louis. Bergen Catholic got to keep it. And if that doesn't happen, if the officials had it right, who knows what the outcome would have been. But it was a hard-nosed fought game.
No, I'm just watching this thing on
both teams the way they battled today.
The East Side game.
Yeah, well-played game. You see the student section for Bergen Catholic.
Yeah, they
victorious here.
22-21.
We'll take a look at some of the replays here. That was a touchdown early. Bergen Catholic getting on the board, and then a good-looking run there. And then finally a touchdown run. And then this was a scoop and score
first game of
East St. Louis, and then a big run
Yeah, it's the first game.
But then the block punt and the return and the 2-point conversion, and that.
Yeah. They straight, man. They straight.
Now we got one more game here coming up, Matt. Should be a good one. IMG taking on another New Jersey team as they take on Winslow Township.
Went over the line of scrimmage before he threw it.
Thoughts on that game?
Yeah. So.
Well, it should be another good one, and hopefully it's as good as this one. A very entertaining game.
Man. I got
Bergen Catholic victorious in front of their students right now with the fight song. We'll have IMG and coming up next.
Nah, you cool. It's the game over.
So I want to thank the crew here, Tom Farah, the entire crew here at Flow Sports. And for Matt Goldstein, Scott Galletti saying so long for now. Second game coming up here in a bit. It'll be IMG Academy taking on Winslow Township. Battle at the Beach. The Battle at the Beach Football Classic here on Flow Football. See you in a little bit.
I ain't got no hard copies. You need some books to read? I need. Hey, appreciate y'all. Anybody that's left for tuning in to the game. Look, come back later for the IMG game. We're going to do the IMG game later on today. And also what we're going to do, if you want to do watch all the Flyers football games, all the National Flyer football games, go over to Nosebleed Nation Football because that's where the game's going to be at from here on out. Nosebleed Nation Football. We was having some technical difficulties, so I ran the game over here. But I appreciate everybody for the likes, the comments, and the new subscribers. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. 618 C's. I'm out.